Hello everyone. So this is the final video for trigonometric integrals. Now in this video, we're going to discuss how to get the integral of these forms: sine mx times sine nx dx, cosine mx times cosine nx dx, and sine mx times cosine nx dx. Okay, this is quite straightforward. Ang kailangan lang nating alalahanin is these sum to product rules. Okay? So we have here the following. Sine A times sine B, this is equal to half of the difference between cosine A minus B and cosine A plus B. Sine A times cosine B, this is half of the sum of sine of A minus B and sine A plus B. And cosine A times cosine B, this is half of the sum of cosine A minus B plus cosine A plus B. Okay, the derivation is quite simple. All we have to do is recall the sum or difference identities for cosine and sine. Okay? Now, I won't be deriving these formulas, but they are provided in our learning guide, so you may check that as well. Okay, in this video, we'll focus more on the application of these formulas to solve these types of integrals. So let's start. Okay, first example, we have sine 5x times cosine 3x dx, or we want to get the integral of sine 5x times cosine 3x dx. Okay, all we have to do is examine the given. We can think of this as sine mx cosine nx dx. So all we have to do is apply the necessary substitute. Okay? So if we do so, we can rewrite this as half of the integral of sine 5 minus 3 times x plus sine of 5 plus 3 times x dx. Okay, let me just erase this to make it cleaner. Okay, so we have half of the integral of sine 2x plus sine 8x dx. From here, all we have to do is apply the necessary substitution para makuha natin yung antiderivative nito. Okay, so please verify that after applying the necessary substitution, we're going to end up with negative cosine of 2x all over 4 minus cosine of 8x all over 16 plus c. Okay, the next item, pinagpalit ko lang yung angle nila. So, sine 3x, cosine 5x. Okay, so we will get here half of the integral ng sine 3 minus 5x plus sine 3 plus 5x. Okay, simplifying, we have half of the integral ng sine negative 2x plus sine 8x dx. I recall that if we have sine negative x, this is equal to negative sine x. That is because sine is an odd function. So, ibig sabihin, we can treat this instead as negative sine 2x. Okay, so after performing that, we can now get the antiderivative. Again, we need to perform integration by substitution again to get cosine 2x all over 4 minus cosine 8x all over 16 plus c. Okay, the last two examples, sila na yung other cases or other forms nitong integral na to. So for the third example, all we have to do is apply the necessary formula again. So if we have sine A times sine B, this is equal to 1/2 ng integral ng cosine of 7 minus 4x plus cosine of 7 plus 4x dx. So simplifying, we have 1/2 of the integral of cosine 3x plus cosine 11x dx. Then perform the necessary steps and apply the necessary technique, integration by substitution, to simplify and solve the antiderivative as sine 3x all over 6 minus sine 11x all over 22 plus c. And for our last example, we have the integral of cosine 3x times cosine 8x. So again, kailangan lang natin i-apply yung necessary formula. So this is equal to 1/2 of the integral ng cosine ng 3 minus 8x plus cosine ng 3 plus 8x dx. So we have 1/2 ng integral ng cosine ng negative 5x plus cosine ng 11x dx. Okay? So again, recall that if we have cosine negative x, this is equal to cosine x because cosine is an even function. So, ibig sabihin, symmetric siya with respect to the y-axis. So, we are able to rewrite this as half of the integral ng cosine 5x plus cosine 11x dx. And again, apply the necessary steps and substitution to get our answer as sine 5x over 10 plus sine 11x over 22 plus c. Okay, so this concludes our video discussions on trigonometric integrals. Now, it may seem intimidating, pero Luckily for us, may mga formulas na for us to use in order to answer or to solve the antiderivatives.